vous interpréter Ireland's Call. Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of Ireland's team, la musique de la garde républicaine will play Ireland's Call.
Mesdames, Messieurs, en l'honneur de l'équipe de France, la Marseillaise.
Welcome to the Six Nations in Paris. Jacques Brunel, installed as coach, built his pack big. Not a try has been scored by anybody in the second row or the back row. Guillaume Guirado has scored 4 in the front row. Guirado, of course, the captain of this team. And behind, all eyes on Mathieu Jalibert, 19 years and 89 days old. Up against Johnny Sexton, and there will be a lot of green traffic coming down his channel. Geoffrey Palis at fullback, also a brand new start for him in the Six Nations. James Ryan into the second row, plenty of experience in front of him. Rory Best, the 107th cap today for the hooker and the captain. CJ Stander at number 8 will be targeting Jalibert. And behind us got such experience. Conor Murray and Johnny Sexton wears 10. The contrast of the outside halves. 69th cut for Sexton, 13 years Jalibert's senior. We normally look to the replacements bench to bring on experience and power, but it's a brand new replacements bench for France. So many of those front row players haven't played in the Six Nations. But of course, France, Brian, are built to surprise.
They are, but how much they can do it against an Ireland side which is incredibly experienced, incredibly well drilled, especially in defence. Well, we will see, won't we? I doubt it.
Bundiaki plays in the centre. for Ireland. Not his first cap, but his first start in the Six Nations. Nigel Owens of Wales is today's referee. First touch for Jalibert. We're off at the Stade de France. Conor Murray. Presumably not the first time Ireland will put boot to ball. The new fullback inside to Kevin Gourdon. Yakuba Kamara, and Ireland force the strong flanker out of play.
Well, we'll see how the battle goes up front. I can imagine that a lot will revolve around the 2 number 8s, Gourdon, who doesn't play there for La Rochelle, and Stander, more experience. See the game dictated. That's poor play, actually. Needs to come inside there, dying with the ball.
The ball from the tail, from Ryan. Bundiaki, good hands. Jacob Stockdale, the strength of one wing, and the elusiveness of Keithles, the other wing. Murray goes digging. Penalty advantage being played. Tyke Furlong, the front rower involved there. Sexton, Rob Carney on the big semicircle. Teddy Thomas gets back. Maxime Lachereau, the scrum half, made the tackle as well. Cian Healy. And we go back for the penalty, and it's hello as well to Luke Fitzgerald. Welcome to the commentary box, Luke.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a very interesting start. I mean, very good from Ireland's perspective. A few guys got their hands on the ball. Nice bit of defence as well to get to win that line out just after Conor Murray's kick from the kickoff. So very solid start from Ireland.
Were you surprised how easily they got around the outside of France there?
Not particularly. I think Vakatawa is a guy I think they probably will target. I feel like he's a little bit loose defensively, although on that occasion it wasn't him that missed the tackle. But I think on the wider parts of the pitch, I believe France are a little bit vulnerable from kicking especially, but from passing as well and attacking them.
Keithles of Munster back in action. Johnny Sexton of Leinster. It's a very familiar sight. Abbas Slimani, the French prop, can only watch. No problem for Johnny Sexton. A relatively peaceful hush.
Look, that's an area of the game that France are going to have to be really careful. In last year's Six Nations, they averaged over 4 times more penalties than Ireland in the game. So that's an area they really have to tidy up on.
Johnny there. Okay. To Conor Murray. CJ Stander. Sexton, the captain. So it's not the captain at all. And the flyer, the flanker.
Stay 9.
High from Sexton. Knocked it back. Keithles with the follow-up, and Ireland move smoothly into the French half.
And we see what an easy exit that was. No pressure on the kick. Able to do 2 drives and then a pinpoint kick. And Ireland's aerial game and chasing game has been good for many years.
Space, please. I'm not surprised by that, Brian. It's an area they spend a huge amount of time on during the week, and they try to be as prepared as possible in that area.
Okay.
Kamara wins the line out for France.
You broke your bind. Swimming round.
Keith Romani told to get back onside. France through Lamara come away for the first time. The new fullback. Paris, Teddy Thomas.
Penalty given for breaking the bind.
Once you release your bind, out.
I get the feeling with this French team that it'll be off scraps and things like that they'll be most dangerous. I feel like that's where Ireland will have a big advantage in terms of organisation, but they still pose a lot of threat behind the scrum. Some really deceptive runners with the ball.
Ireland sort out bouncing ball. He just checks where Johnny Sexton's gone. He'll kick himself. Teddy Thomas waits and is tackled by Stockdale. Machinot, the captain, Guillaume Guiraudot. Jalibert, the trademark little kick and chase, but Keith Earls read it well. Burst from the front row. Patience by Ireland. Sexton.
Stay nine!
Dink
Nine, stay.
of his own. Much more effective into the corner. Clever little kick.
I think you couldn't have a better picture of the difference between the two out halves. It's the 19-year-old Jalibert trying something spectacular against a defence. It's very organised. That was really easy for Ireland to defend. And then Sexton, the absolutely superb kick into the corner to put pressure on France.
Well, actually, there was a gap there. He didn't kick it where he wanted to. He went straight to Earls.
Ian Henderson wears 4. Challenging on the French throw. Untidy. Machinot. That's a good clearance under pressure. Gourdon with the scrum cap.
I think these kind of positions are where Ireland are really, really strong. I expect them to maybe possibly throw in a lot of crossfield kicks, a lot of different things like that at this French back three after setting up the play in the first initial few phases.
Henderson wins the line-out ball. Aki.
Hands away, Blue! Come back.
Cian Healy. Not much ground there, but it's safely back to Murray. A bit far. Pallis should make the mark. He does.
Go, boys, please, here. Stay here.
Pallis. That's a very long kick.
Be interested to see how much fluency France can produce with such a short preparation time with the new coach.
I may have cheated last time trying to call out that play. I heard it on the referee's mic. But unfortunately the ball got slowed up a little bit and Conor Murray wasn't able to put that high ball in on Vakatawa.
France steal an Irish throw. Gourdon into the heart of the midfield. Now with the giant second rows.
Advantage over.
Jalibert this time ships it on. See a first glimpse of Virimi Vakatawa. Lamara. By Henderson. National checks both sides. Thomas off his wing. Vakatawa. Tall second row. Arthur Itouria. The front row. Out wide. France patiently building. Not much ground made, but they can surge into life. Teddy Thomas given a roaming role today. Out there on the left wing, the right wing. Vakatawa, the swapped wings. Second rows involved. Varmaina again. Now Jalibert. Pallis trying to release Vakatawa. Advantage being played. Ball went forward.
Well, 14 phases for France. advanced about 10 yards against an Irish defence which was always comfortable. And the problem is, although they're big and have powerful runners, if you can't give the defenders more questions to answer when they are defending, if you don't have options inside, outside, if you don't have runners available, then defences like Ireland that are solid and well organised and well coached are going to cope.
I think a big challenge, just looking at those 14 phases for France, is trying to maintain width when you're... a lot of the guys that are far away from the ball seem to be getting drawn towards the ruck, drawn towards the ball. Holding width will give your players opportunities to have one-on-ones, and they have fantastic athletes if they can get one-on-ones. But if you're too tight together, you will not get those opportunities against this defence.
Wenceslas Loré. Johnny Sexton. Oh, he felt the full force of Vakatawa coming his way.
Call for a decent feed. There were two not straight free kicks in the opening game, which came as a huge surprise to most of us.
You nearly swooned.
And this is an area where Ireland have improved out of all recognition over the last decade. For a long time, the front five was not seen as a dominant scrummaging and set-piece unit, and they are now, and they've got depth.
They're coming under a bit of pressure here, though. Rory Best strikes, the scrum goes down. Nigel Owens will want it out quickly. Away comes CJ Stander. But France, with the slight nudge forward, push Ireland back towards the 22. Cian Healy makes a yard outside the 22. Conor Murray can't kick directly to touch. Instead, he aims at Paris, who takes it well. Thomas. He does well to stay away from the touchline. Gourdon, France, just starting to give it a little bit of width. Vakatawa, good tackle. Keith Earls up on Lamaha. Machinot. It's France who are making no ground at all. Ireland win the turnover. Whistle goes. Well, Brian, it's after the early penalty, it's a bit flat.
Well, I'd be quite happy if I was Ireland. All you want in the first 20 minutes in an away game is a settled period. The 3 points up. They haven't had much ball. When they do get ball, they will, I think, be infinitely more creative and more threatening than France have been. They're solid defensively. I'd be quite happy if I was Irish.
Maxime Machinot prepares to feed this scrimmage. Free kick. The weight coming on too soon. Oh, Gourdon knocks on. Scrum down. Irish ball.
I think Brian made a fantastic point earlier on. One of the real strengths for this team, outside of the half-backs, is the front row. Jack McGrath, Lyon, can't even get in this front row to start the game. It's such a nice thing as a back to know that you have that security, you have that strength in that area. Characteristically, they've given away a few soft penalties so far at the start of the game here, but usually this is a really strong part of the game for Ireland.
Just don't tell him, Luke.
Well, there's no sign of post-lines fatigue as they build up to a relatively imminent World Cup.
I must say the turf here at the Stade de France is in such good condition compared with the ploughed field it has sometimes been in the past. Conor Murray drills one down to the corner. Paris keeps it on the park. Sexton looks in field and goes high. Thomas under pressure, only can he knock it down, and Ireland reclaim possession. Chance here now. Options on both sides. Penalty advantage to France, though. There is none. Nigel Owens goes back. Henri Chavancy wears 12 for France. Sébastien Vamaina, the giant.
That's disappointing from a really good regather from Conor Murray there. Ireland pride themselves on having the lowest penalty count on average in every game, in every match they play. They've had a few loose ones to start the game. I think they'll look to tighten that up in the next couple of minutes.
Paris to the line out. Teddy Thomas rises high, but there was just a chance here. Bit of nostalgia for you, Brian?
Well, just to say, those aren't our pictures, they're the French director's pictures, which is why you're getting the arty slow motion nonsense.
Chavancy stopped in his tracks. Machino. First little glimpse of Jalibert in open play.
Well, the French crowd were temporarily excited there, and yet, if you look in reality, Ireland simply guided France towards the touchline. They were never really in danger. Two men covered there.
Nice to see a little bit of creativity all the same, Brian. I like the move. I like that they're trying to, I suppose, manipulate that Ireland defence, trying to condense them and then go outside to the pace, which they do have in abundance out wide.
Rory Best finds Peter O'Mahony. France put a little squeeze on the maul. Vakatawa infield, then tries to straighten. It's Robbie Henshaw who can't get away. He's been penalised. Jalibert. So free play for France now. Rob Kearney comes forward for it, takes it well, but back to the penalty.
Back to your point about giving penalties.
Yeah, they've had a really unusual start for them. I think there'll be messages definitely coming on from the sideline to say that they need to tighten that up. It's okay for France to have the ball. We've looked comfortable so far from an Irish perspective. They need to get that under control, because easy pressure for France, and they will get hard from that, and I think they'll grow.
Geoffrey Palis again towards this near touchline. Cian Healy had a few weeks off. Had to serve a little sentence for, well, a few indiscretions. Guirado. And it's well stolen by Ireland. But they didn't do their sums right. CJ Stander just hangs off the ball just to delay things.
Well, Nigel Owens making the point numbers 3 times there. And I have to say, very surprising.
I call the numbers. Scrum is here, the numbers, the decision is given, please. The scrum is here, numbers. You're too late getting out.
The scrummage, Brian, you, I suppose it was a free kick, wasn't it? So,
well, given that France have had problems on their line-out so far, not surprised they've taken this option. All depends whether they can get a good striking, clean ball, give their back some options, or whether they're going to try and put the Irish under pressure, try and force a penalty.
Front. Bind. Set.
oh, it's another one, Brian.
Well, it's a penalty or free kick for not straight. However, Ireland are lucky because Kane Healy was at a terrible angle there, folded in.
The second row's feet.
I think they were lucky he called it back there after the kick as well. I think Johnny Sexton missed touch, so a few fortunate events in a row.
Only a free kick. Sexton keeps it in play. Palis can't take it, but Loré was there by his side to clear up the possession. Varmaina. Tyke Furlong involved in the tackle. Conor Murray is back and rises well. Keane Healy. Sexton. Van der Flyer out among the backs. James Ryan nearly up to the halfway line. Healy, good hands from the prop. CJ Stanley. Stockdale. Oof, picked up by Varmaina. Stockdale did very well to get to the ground there. It's a very messy and slow ruck, but considering he was up against 3 or 4 French players and Ireland come away with it, it has worked for them. Carney out to Keith Earls. That's the 22-metre line, just in front of Ireland as they come through second row Ryan. The other one, Ian Henderson. Penalty advantage, free play for Johnny Sexton. It'll be the penalty. Drop goal misses. Penalty against Yakuba Kamara. Luke.
That was a lovely bit of play from Ireland there. I think it's something that there's been a renewed focus on in Ireland, is trying to be a bit more expansive, and a big part of that new part of the game plan is the forwards. You saw James Ryan getting a lovely ball at the back, Tyke Furlong from time to time. Sean O'Brien plays a big part in that. Obviously he's missing today, so can Josh van der Flyer, can he fill that void for Ireland in that area?
Well, you see the hands by Kane Healy here, and you also saw the ball back inside just before the breakdown that gave the penalty, and that's what I'm talking about, posing different questions for defenders. If you run just straight one out, doesn't matter whether you have width or you condense it, if it's a straight one-on-one tackle, international defences now are too good, they're too well organised, and they will simply stop you on the game line. If you can just vary the point, give them some doubt as to where they can target the hit, then you're likely to get just beyond the game line, and everything else becomes a lot easier.
Johnny Sexton in front of the posts. Ireland double their lead. France 0, Ireland 6. Jalibert down that groove to Conor Murray. CJ Stanley tackled by Kamara. Conor Murray hasn't gone very far. Teddy Thomas knocked it on. Advantage to being played. Murray, Stanley.
Hands away.
Sexton. Gourdon is back. Pallis. Murray again covers it. Oh, Pallis had a free opportunity there. Nobody on the Irish side got anywhere near it. Carney, though, comes away with advantage over Teddy Thomas. And again, it's all too easily pushed out of play. Touch judge's flag is up. Wayne Barnes advising Nigel Owens about the height of the tackle.
Well, do you say that let's just wait for this decision. No, it's not going to be high. Well,
he slips over his back and then over his head. So play on, play on.
The tackle is just a slip on the back and over, okay, not high.
You said that that kick wasn't challenged, but what perhaps was missed was the fact that Conor Murray found himself in a situation where he thought, if I go for this ball and I don't get it right, I might have impede the running player. So it was clever play and decided not to go anywhere near it.
Keith Romani won the line-out. Rob Carney and Keith Earls combined well away from the original set piece. Dumped to the ground. But here comes Bundy Aki. He does well to get into the French half. Ian Henderson on halfway.
No, don't kick it. Lock it only.
Josh van der Flyer, and again, there's the halfway line.
Move.
Henderson. Johnny Sexton on the loop. Bundy Aki, good strength. Under pressure.
To me on the chest, play, on the chest. Don't touch it.
James Ryan, that familiar line. Ireland have made a mess of it. The hoof through. Jalibert in hot pursuit. Rob Carney goes back. Did he get back to his feet? Real pressure from France. Now Ireland, instead of attacking the halfway line, are on their own goal line. Very calm presence of Conor Murray in charge of the defensive operation. Will Teddy Thomas take a quick one? No.
That is such a strength for Ireland. Having Conor Murray in that position, he's got such a big range on his kicks, and that's a huge pressure reliever from a very, very difficult situation for Ireland. A lot of encouraging signs for France, although defensively they look very solid. I like their shape in the backfield, which isn't giving Ireland easy opportunities to kick the ball in behind them, so they look a little bit more solid than they did in the early parts.
Very elegant right boot of the prop, Rabah Slimani. Rob Carney under pressure. Camara builds another French attack with the line out. Scrum down, Irish ball. Explain, Brian.
Well, the French crowd don't like that. Technically, anything from the line out when the ball is passed back is offside. The referees will let you get away with one drive. If you detach from the initial setup and go around the corner like the French did then they deem that the players in front are obstructing. So when the ball comes down here, they let you go there, but once you go around the side here, that's when they'll penalise you, or they'll give
the scrummage
accidental
against
obstruction against you. I think at the moment Ireland are just being held, and they're comfortable. I don't think they'll feel their line's being really under threat. They're just being held back by a bit of ill discipline, by small inaccuracies, and when they tidy those things up, things will get a lot better, I think.
Yeah, I think they look solid. I mean, they look to me like they're struggling to get a little bit of momentum. The few times that they have is from a pass, from either from. I believe that they probably should be maybe passing a bit more forward to forward, not always out the back. But they just need to change the point of direction, or the change the point of attack.
Nothing moves till the ball comes in. Steady, bind long, height good. Okay.
It's such a different game, Brian, from the opener in Cardiff.
It is, but the opener in Cardiff had no structure whatsoever from one team, and another team, Wales, who played very, very well.
Middle. Crouch. Bind. Set. In. Keep it up.
CJ Stander keeps it at his feet, and Ireland have the penalty. Again, the crowd in Paris not happy.
Well, there are no rule changes in advance of 2 years from World Cup, but there are one or two directives. One has been to have a credible feed in the scrum and make sure there's no movement. The other is to stop advice or comments from players. So Slimani's words, I think they were directed at Wayne Barnes. Perhaps he was discussing Donald Trump's version of kerfuffle and whatever that meant, I don't know.
Keep the pressure drive. I want to bind long.
I'm interested to see what Ireland have prepared during the week. Apparently from inside the camp they've trained really, really well. What can Joe Schmidt create from this area to try and pull this French defence apart?
Quickly down to Murray. Bundyaki. Low centre of gravity, and he's left Mathieu Jalibert on the floor. Here's Jacob Stockdale. Jalibert still down, and an Irishman is down too. Rob Carney, I think. Play on through James Ryan. Good run by the second row. Murray picks up Sexton.
Hands away, ruck is called.
It's Ryan again. Two players down. They all watch as the ball goes behind the first.
Yeah, it went backwards. I'm going to stop with scrum green ball. I'm not going to carry down with two injuries looking serious here, okay? Time out. The ball went back. I'm going to stop because of the injuries, okay? It'll be green ball.
Bundyaki on Mathieu Jalibert, and the young Frenchman is down. And so is Bundyaki.
Okay.
He looks like he might be built for that collision a bit more than Jalibert at this point in his young career. It was an interesting play from Ireland. I think James Ryan has had a really, really strong start to the game. He's someone that we haven't talked a huge amount about coming up to the game. We focused a little bit more on Stockdale, but James Ryan is only just in this team ahead of a 60 capper in Devon Toner. I think he's had a fantastic start. He was one of the guys who started the attack early on down the right-hand flank for Keith Earls with a pass at the back. He's had a few really, really good carries. He looks like he's surviving really well at this level.
Anthony Belleau of Toulon. It looks like a knee injury for Jalibert.
Well, both you can see was a knee to knee.
They tell me he has to go for a HIA. That's what they tell me for this. It's a knee. That's inside.
Not an HIA, Nigel. It's the knee.
Okay. Wait. Okay. The match doctor says you need to go and check the protocol for HIA. Okay. Okay. Send the number 10 on.
Mathieu Jalibert, the youngest ever outside half, goes off. Anthony Belleau comes on.
Okay, come here, please.
That's very unfortunate for Jalibert. He looked like he was kind of growing into the game to me. He had a few nice touches, wasn't trying to do anything too expansive, doing the simple things right. He was growing into it, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully we'll see him back on the pitch.
Which I saw the last time, and he's telling me that you were angling and going in as well. So can the both of you sort that out? Because if you don't sort it out, then we'll get two props on instead of you, because that's what I will do. Is that clear? I don't want to see any pressure pulling, and I want your height good enough. Is that fair enough?
Nigel Owens laying down the law, and I don't see why. A lot of referees say you shouldn't warn both props until you can be sure that one party is doing something wrong. And I simply say, well, another 28 players and 80,000 people haven't come here to watch you two dive on the floor. So sort it out or get off.
Well, it's a lovely position for a scrum for Ireland. on the 22. Space on both sides.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold it there.
Robbie Henshaw and Bundyaki are a long way apart.
Keep it up. Good work and keep it up.
CJ Stander protected for Murray. Murray tackled. Johnny Sexton buried in that ruck. Through the forwards they'll have to come. Ian Henderson, CJ Stander on his shoulder. Tyke Furlong. Peter O'Mahony with good support there. Murray, Sexton back in his guiding position. Hence Sexton, little dummy. Kevin Gourdon read it, covered, tackled. Stander. O'Mahony. Cian Healy. 10 metres to go for Ireland. And a flyer. What will Sexton try? Doesn't go wide. Ireland in front of the posts. CJ Stander, France's defence, good. Conor Murray waves the forwards to this side of the field, and Cian Healy obeys the instruction. France think they've turned it over. They have.
Ireland were very narrow for the majority of that attack as well.
Paris with that left boot clears the line.
That was some excellent defence from France there. It is the easiest place on the pitch to attack because you don't really have to defend kicks in behind, but the physical commitment at times was fantastic, and they managed to slow down Ireland's ball consistently there, which didn't allow them to get momentum. Momentum is key, as Brian was saying earlier on. It makes all your decisions a lot easier if you're going forward, and it obviously conversely makes it a lot more difficult defensively if the other team has momentum.
Conor Murray delivers the ball, going backwards. Play on. Rory Best. Into the French 22. Keith Earls can challenge for it. Vakatawa can't control it. Sonia.
Eddie, we saw Mathieu Jalabert walk past here. He was wincing, he was limping. He clearly hurt his knee in collision with Ireland's centre Bundyaki, but we're told by the officials on the touchline here that he's actually gone off, you guessed it, for an HIA to check whether or not he has a head injury assessment, to check whether he has concussion, which of course now means that France have additional time to check him over, work on him and get him back onto the pitch.
Good.
Well, it's Sonia, head injury assessment for the young outside half. Meanwhile, Ireland, that's the 22, good position. Peter O'Mahony wins it. Keith Earls plays outside half position. Tyke Furlong fights for a few feet of space. Kevin Gourdon tears it out on the French side. Machinot. Rob Kearney turned and got back in time. Heads off infield. Chased down by Henri Chavancy. Guirado is there, and the hooker wins the tackle. In front of the posts.
Another excellent French defensive set, putting huge pressure on Ireland at the breakdown, and they're really having a lot of success in slowing down the ball there against Ireland. For me, I think Ireland probably need to be a little bit more creative. Hold their feet just a yard, give themselves a half a second extra on the ball to maybe give themselves opportunities to do something else with it, to pop it outside, to pop it out the back to Johnny Sexton. Those kind of things will make it far more difficult for France to put the kind of pressure on them that they are.
Maxime Machinot, the scrum half, will be taking the kick at goal. Just watching Rémi Lamara, who's limping around the field. Nigel Owens has a word with Jefferson Poirot, who stands there and applauds as the kick is good. France 3, Ireland 6. Johnny Sexton, high to Bellew, charge down, Conor Murray, Rob Kearney, France have been very good at challenging at the breakdown. Tadhg Furlong slips it. No real forward momentum so far, but that's good from another charge by James Ryan. Van der Fleyen.
Van der Fleyen got hit there. It was pure accident, but it will have hurt.
Pure accident, not a...
I think that Tadhg Furlong carry just after Rob Kearney's carry over to the corner is a perfect example of what we're saying. I think that ball needs to go just one more. They need to give each other space out there to give themselves one-on-one opportunities so they can get that momentum for Johnny Sexton and Conor Murray to run the game plan.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
Well, first of all, the knee collapsed slightly, didn't it? And then it put him in a position where his head came into contact with Girardo's hip-stroke thigh. I mean, you're quite right, Lou. The problem is with defences, when they are so well organised, unless you are... There are one or two players, Billy Vanapola is one, Victor Vito maybe for different reasons is one, who can make yards after initial contact. You've got to find a way to make defenders have to move out of their set stances, and by that I mean so that they can't get a full hit on you. And by doing that, just moving it one on or just moving it out of the back, then you've got a chance to do that.
Ireland forced to make a change. Josh van der Fleyen, his day is done. And the replacement is already on. Dan Levy.
There was a lot of surprise in Ireland actually originally, Eddie, when he wasn't picked in the side. He's a guy who's hugely touted. He's had a really good underage career, and this year and last year in Leinster he's really kind of established himself with Sean O'Brien being out injured. He's been a huge part of what's made Leinster so competitive this year in the league and in the cup.
Again, it's an inviting position for Ireland. They've had a few set scrums in the middle of the field, and they've done the same thing. They've split their centres. Well, they've split their three quarters. Conor Murray. They go this side to Bundyaki. Little dart by the inside centre. Peter O'Mahony goes to the scrum half position. Conor Murray back there now. First touch for Dan Levy.
Release.
Sexton, Aki, Robbie Henshaw on the good angle.
Let it go.
The switch of direction by Johnny Sexton. CJ Stander delivers. Healy. James Ryan. France have to be careful not to pick up the player beyond the horizontal. Sébastien Varmaina.
You want to come in and play the ball, not a problem. You don't come in and play the man without the ball, okay? Back you go.
You also don't come in from a sideways angle.
I think he's a little bit lucky they haven't looked at that a little bit closer. I'm not sure there was too many arms in that. Thankfully, Conor Murray is still fit and able to continue. That was better from Ireland. I thought they changed the point of attack a little bit better there. They looked like they were trying to be a bit more expansive, although I would say France did look comfortable. They look good defensively to me so far.
You're right, Luke.
Yep.
Sort of one wandering left arm, perhaps.
Well, irrespective of the technicalities of that, the fact is it's a dull penalty giveaway in front of your post to let Ireland go in, undoubtedly now 9-3 up instead of 6-3.
Are we looking time-wise, boys? Okay. Count me down 10 seconds, okay?
Just a minute to go to half-time. Johnny Sexton puts Ireland 9 points to 3 ahead. There is a lot of dampness in the air. The rain falls. Dan Levy, Wenceslas Loré.
Left, we're sure they're behind, please, okay?
Bello, will it go the 10 metres?
Play by Ireland, play.
Ireland played it anyway. That's a good leap by Levy. The last minute, Conor Murray keeps the aerial game going. A test for Palis. Good pressure from Keith Earls. Here's Bello, the replacement. Girado.
Inside.
Ituria with the drive. Palis says, I think we'd better go and have a chat in the changing room and see what we can do to swing this game our way. Ireland lead in Paris by 9 points to 3.
Incomplete performance from Ireland, who'll be concerned that they haven't managed to get enough momentum, yet they've looked comfortable in defence, and I would expect a huge improvement in the second half.
Mathieu Jalibert's debut didn't last that long. Maxime Machenot waits. Ireland will kick off in this second half. Johnny Sexton really hasn't had to move out of third gear, Brian? I mean, Ireland has been very contained, full of calm authority.
Yes, I'd be interested to ask what Joe Schmidt might have said at half-time.
We're off. Johnny Sexton sends a low scuttler towards Machenot. What are his team talks like at half-time, Luke?
Usually very calm and concise. You know, I think the days of maybe shouting and roaring at half-time are probably gone. I think there's a recognition that if you're not up for the physical fight, if you need someone to talk to you and get you up for the physical fight, you probably don't belong at the level. So people just want to get technical information about where they can get an edge in a game that is very, very tight. And he's usually really, really good at that.
Rory Best, the captain, throws and finds CJ Stander. Long to, well, it went to Henshaw in the end. Bundy helped it on its way to his co-centre. The Irish replacement, Dan Levy. On for Josh van der Flier. Conor Murray, the first little dart the scrum halves had. Levy again. There's the strength of the back row as a ball carrier. Here's another one, CJ Stander. and the second rows. Ian Henderson. Out quickly for Murray, finds half-back partner. Jacob Stockdale off his wing. Henshaw out to Carney. James Ryan, who was a major ball carrier in the first half. Sexton, Aki. Extra little roll from Aki. Conor Murray switches it. Tig Furlong. Oops, that's gone forward. Surely, yes.
Johnny Sexton not too happy. A few of his teammates might say he's never happy on the pitch, to be honest. But that was a good opportunity there in a game that has had they've kind of been few and far between so far. Few good things though to see from Ireland there. I think they looked like they've decided to attack France in and around the tight, not give them too much time to get that line speed and go up the middle. Interesting to see if that's something that they continue to pursue throughout the half.
Well, one of the things you mentioned, Eddie, was the first run we've really seen and threat from Conor Murray, and he needs to do a little bit more just to make sure defenders can't drift off him, as indeed maybe to pick up and go straight from the side so that the defenders are pulled back in and not cluttering out the midfield.
Crouch.
That's the halfway line. I have the impression we spent a lot of time between the 10-metre lines in this game. A little bit of pressure from Ireland on the French scrummage. Gourdon oversteps the ball, leaves it for Machinot. Bello put onto the front foot. France suddenly through Thomas, Vakatawa, Henshaw covering this blind side now. Machinot, Maina, the big man tackled by Peter O'Mahony.
Stay out, that's a rock, stay out. Johnny!
Rémi Lamara delivers for Machinot. Camara with the drive. Maina again. Was that high from Ryan? Gourdon. CJ Stander with the tackle. Wenceslas Loré. Itzuria, the second row. Ireland have turned the ball over. And Poirot is offside.
In hindsight, that might have actually been a smart play. It looked like it might have been on for Johnny Sexton down on that short side. Again, though, another probably, I know it's contradicting myself, but a lot of penalties are starting to build up against France, and they need to really cut that out.
They said it was cunning from Poirot.
Not right in front of Nigel Owens.
Good position now for Ireland. Nigel Owens has a word with Jefferson Poirot. Here's the turnover. Ian Henderson involved.
Interesting position to attack from here. You don't really have to defend kicks too often here, so oftentimes you can use your wingers in your front line, as you can see Vakatawa.
Good take by James Ryan. Ireland set up the maul. Good counter drive by France. It's just the question of spot the ball now. Ireland do scramble it back their way. Slow ball though. Sexton, he has a go on his own.
Lost now.
Murray. Henderson. Good drive by the second row. France offside. Oh, that's two of them. Two of them, Brian.
Yeah. Vermeer again.
He was never onside.
Well, he managed to get away from the initial contact and then just loitered in and around. And for all the work that the French forwards did, Ireland were looking to drive that line. It was a tremendous counter drive. given away by a moment of ill discipline.
Good skills by James Ryan. One second row. Here's the other one, Ian Henderson.
Two very, very dynamic players, and you can see that there. Ian Henderson's a guy who just seems to slip out of loads of tackles. You see it all the time for Ulster. He's a big talisman for them, and I think going forward into the World Cup, he's going to be a really big talisman and a big part of this this Irish team.
Johnny Sexton took his time just to make sure. Ireland's lead now 12 points to 3.
Well, you can see there the conditions is not readily apparent, but it is very greasy out there. It is difficult to handle, but one thing Johnny Sexton can be relied upon is to kick easy goals. Didn't miss one in the entire Six Nations last year.
Release now! Hands right now, last!
4 penalties to 1. Conor Murray, very deliberately, as he always is, or always does, puts the ball on his foot. Rob Carney, so good, catching the high ball. Pure concentration as he delivers, and Cian Healy drives it up.
Go back, go back!
Varmaina pinched it illegally again. He is standing in front of the back.
He's going to get warned, so no, he should get warned. That's 3.
No, but the replay will show he's clearly offside.
There was one very unhappy Irishman on the panel here when I thought Nigel Owens wasn't going to blow that up. I mean, that was clear as the nose in your face. So that was really, really poor from Varmaina, and I think they're building up against him now. He really needs to sort that out because he's putting pressure on this French team.
We have a lot of penalties now, okay? You were never back onside when you played that ball. If you were onside and you come forward, it's not the problem, but you were never behind in the first place.
And these are the ones that coaches hate, the ones that you don't have to give away. They're not taking one from the team, to use a vernacular phrase, and not under pressure. All he did was kill momentum there, and in front of him, you know, Lamonat earlier on, 20 yards out. These are the sort of things, when you talk about discipline, it's not about punching people, it's about not doing silly things like that when you know you're never behind the back foot. Now I'd like to see Ireland catch this and drive it. Set it up, commit to the drive, put pressure on.
Conor Murray from the set piece. Henshaw, Ireland now at pace into the French 22. Rory Best, good pass, my word. Rob Carney came in and was sent back again. Cian Healy restarts the operation of being in the French 22. Bundee Aki still there. Again. Jacob Stockdale on that left wing.
No, it's all right, the ball was delayed. Sit back.
Dan Levy. He always manages to get that extra half yard. Sexton, the inside ball to CJ Stander. Ireland are still quite narrow, they haven't got any width. They have now, big players spreading out to the touchlines. Meanwhile, the captain, Rory Best. Conor Murray has another little look himself. The tackle is good by Ituria. Cian Healy picks and doesn't go very far. Vakatawa is buried in the ruck. Tyke Furlong outside Conor Murray. Ian Henderson sort of has to get his legs out the way first. Here is Furlong. Poirot, great strength by the prop. Wonderful play by Jefferson Poirot. Keith Earls has to hair back under pressure from Thomas. Earls has support from Stockdale, and Stockdale has support from Robbie Henshaw. Good interplay. Keith Earls back involved. Stockdale eventually runs it out of play, but suddenly the game is going from end to end. We're underway again. Suddenly we have pace. Gourdon delivers, but there's a new frenzy out there, and the crowd come to life as well. Loré, Palis, the fullback. Vamaina with ball in hand, legitimately. Machno, the change of tactic. Stockdale does very well. Good catch and avoided the dangerous pass. Palis is down, needs to get out of there. He's hurt. Tyke Furlong drives it a little further away from the 22. Levy. That's Vamina.
On his feet.
That was a disappointing passage from an Irish perspective. Some excellent French defence down there from the Steel on their line, and a great kick from Machno. Two lovely kicks that put Ireland under a huge amount of pressure. He saw his old Parisian teammate Johnny Sexton in the backfield, and he decided to put one up on him, which I'm sure Johnny won't thank him for. But some excellent French defence and a great turnover, and poor enough from an Irish perspective there. I feel like Conor Murray was looking for someone to chase his kick. Rob Kearney had actually gotten into position to chase it, and I probably think he should have gone one phase earlier. But some excellent defence. I wouldn't want to take that away from France.
Ireland getting back all right, but giving away a rare penalty. Maxime Machno. It's good. France 6, Ireland 12. Still all penalties. Do you sense a little breakdown in the rigid structures, Brian?
No, I think teams, and I don't want to overstate this, but what you can't probably see on the cameras when you're watching is that the rain is coming down quite heavily, and I do have to give some credit for the players, because it's very difficult to handle in this sort of weather.
It's a very fine drizzle here in Saint-Denis, just north of Paris. Machno, happy to put it out of play.
Careful with the timing on the kick, okay? Careful.
I just think if it's going to be a game which is dictated by the conditions, then the halfbacks for Ireland have more control, more experience, and are likely to, to win that sort of battle.
It's an interesting setup here for Ireland. I got Dan Levy just standing outside Rob Kearney at fullback, and CJ Stander standing outside Johnny Sexton. I wonder, has Joe Schmidt cooked something up here? Usually when you see a forward out in the wide channels, it ends up being a wide pattern. I'd be surprised at that, given that CJ Stander's in the middle, but usually that is what he's trying to cook up. So interesting to see if they can break France down here.
Change of props for France. On come the formidable figures of Danny Priso and Sedat Gomessa.
You come.
Rory Best. He's always a model of calm. Finds Peter O'Mahony. Dan Levy gets the pass away. Good little offload to Carney. Ireland do have width this way. Sexton. Stockdale. Sexton has a little show and go. That's the 22. Ian Henderson approaches it. Can't quite make it. Cian Healy. Footwork from the prop. Stockdale, who's off his wing. Keith Earls is still very much on his as CJ Stander again approaches the 22. And Rory Best can't get to it. Healy. Sexton to Henshaw, it's broken down. France swoop on the turnover possession. Ituria, the second row, picks up and feeds Varmaina. Gomez Sa, his first charge. Slow ball for Machino. Rob Carney, who is normally so good under the high ball, drops one. It's just a surprise, Luke.
That's a collector's item. Rob Carney usually incredibly accurate under the high ball, and we've seen a few examples of it today. He's come up big in a team today that needs someone like him to get the momentum from high kicks and get them back into the game. And I'm actually surprised that Ireland haven't kicked more from an attacking perspective. They've been kind of it's wave after wave against this very strong French defence, and there hasn't been too much creativity. That might be guided by the weather, which is poor enough here. But I'm surprised that they haven't tried too many crossfield kicks or aerial assaults to put balls up for guys like Rob Carney and Jacob Stockdale.
Well, I think what might be disappointing for you from an Irish perspective is that when you saw the 2 or 3 moves that were definitely set off that line out, and the way they could get the runners at different angles in and the dummy runners there, they made significant ground. It's when the first 2 or 3 that have been set, when you're playing off the cuff, then it's breaking down and then it's been reverting to type of going in one-on-one. And they just need to get more options when they've run out of the set plays, when the players do it off cuff.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think there's probably, part of it as well is that they haven't actually kicked in it from an attacking sense. I can't remember one outside of Johnny Sexton's one early on in the game, which means that, if I was a winger playing against that, you can hedge and you can end up, you don't really have to defend the kicks because you're not expecting them. So I think maybe they need to just, I suppose, change it up slightly, give France a slightly different picture to create a little bit of indecision in their defensive line.
Well, it's a collapsed scrum against the background noise, the Marseillaise at full volume. But we're a bit bogged down still here.
No, I can't check it on TV, please. No, you can't. And you don't ask either. Thank you. Barnes, you come this side, I'm going to go this side, okay? Let's go over the top, yeah? Come on, let's go! The time on it called the
Wayne Barnes has moved into position as a touch judge to look down the tunnel.
You can see a division of labour.
Crouch!
Paul Williams has moved to watch the offside line now.
Set!
In it goes from Machino. Gouldon gets it away, but it's very scrappy possession. Ricciardo. 24 tackles the hooker has made. CJ Stander over the ball, and these are the mini triumphs in a tight game that are all important.
There was also a mini triumph for the Irish scrum. They were very clever in wheeling that slowly, putting France under pressure. You whip wheel, which means you pull, and it goes round. Referees always catch that, it's very obvious. You go around slowly, it still ruins the opposition ball, still gives them the wrong angle, but you get away with it.
I didn't see that myself, Brian.
Change on the Irish side. Jack McGrath comes on.
For the first time in quite a while, Ireland have now got decent field position.
Just a quick word from Paul O'Connell in studio.
Just with the conditions, it'd be great to see Ireland drive a little bit more and drive off a short line out as well, whereby France have to be very, very disciplined. I think Ireland have used it really effectively in the past. I see it, they're doing it here now, 6+1 line out and a drive. So hopefully something will come of this. No, good defence by France.
Well, France did well to sack that straight away.
Good catch by Peter O'Mahony. Now then, Ireland, they are inside that area of maximum pressure, the 22. Murray looks up, finds Sexton. Robbie Henshaw. Tyke Furlong. Now Sexton goes in, he's out of... Oh, penalty advantage to Ireland. They've stolen it through Danny Pizot, but penalty against the French.
First defence, 2 blue.
I think Jacques Brunel and his staff will be very, very disappointed with that. That's a needless penalty. France have shown on a number of occasions that it's not necessarily a bad thing to be stuck down here if you have lots of numbers ready to defend, which they did. Because if you get a turnover, the other team is really, really exposed. And Machinot's exposed Ireland a few times with long kicks after turnovers. So they need to just not panic. It's okay if they're in their 22 defending.
Well, Gabriel is the player wearing 19 there. He didn't give away the penalty.
Well, Girardeau puts his hand up and say, look, there's a man laying on top of me, and yes there is. So a lot of people will say, well, how can he get out of the way? And the fact is, actually, you don't be there in the first place. You know what referees are going to do. If you give an opposition player a chance to hold you in, which they will do, then I'm afraid you're going to pay the penalty.
That's a really good point, Brian. I think that's something that the referees have really gotten a lot sharper on. If you're lots of people, oftentimes in that scenario, you hear them talking to the refs, I can't get out of there. But more often than not, it's because they've gotten themselves in a bad position and they know what they're doing in the tackle area prior to going to the deck.
Yeah, you can't see it, but the rain is again falling here at the Stade de France. Johnny Sexton,
does it do anything else but fall?
Johnny Sexton's 5th penalty. He's landed all 4 so far. The crowd not as quiet as it was for kick number 1. A little bit of fade on it, which brought it between the posts. The kick is good. Ireland are back. Oh no! Missed. Oh, it didn't. It faded away. Beg his pardon. The score remains 6-12.
But you make no effort to go away. Well, you need to show me that there was no effort there.
So France within a converted try. Still have taken the lead. Keith Hills can't gather. CJ Stander can. Peter O'Mahony tackled by Gordon. Sexton. Henshaw, back to Henshaw. Forward pass. There's Wenceslas Loré. Just wondering who Gabriel is on for. Must be Camara. Oh no, he's still on.
Space back. Standard's good.
He's in the second row.
You know, sometimes you get games that just don't flow. There are errors, penalties, the conditions aren't right. This is one of them, and in these games you've got to be absolutely precise in your discipline, because that's what will give it away. A slip, an unintended consequence, you know, a dull penalty. This is the time for discipline, and just grind these games out, especially because it's the first one. Ireland have to grind this out now, make sure they go away with a win, however it's achieved.
I'm a little bit surprised so far in this half that Ireland haven't just picked and gone around ruck time. They had a little bit of success early on in the half, and they've kind of gone away from it. That pass from Conor Murray to the first receiver, who's a forward, is far easier to defend. You've way more time to get organised and get line speed. I'm interested to see if there's a message that comes on to possibly go back to that, or maybe to, I think what's going to be really important for Ireland is a lot more attacking kicks.
Guirado gets a foot on the ball, strikes it back, it's held up a bit in the heart of the scrum. There it is. Gourdon will pick up and feed straight to Belleau. Panis from fullback. Vakatawa, strong runner. Vakatawa charges into the 22. Marcelo. This is Gabriel from the second row. Marcelo orders more forwards. That didn't really help Gomez Sarr from a standing start. It sort of grounds a bit to a halt here. Began with good momentum. There's Danny Priso trying to inject more momentum. Loré sent back. Lamora. So it is, Brian. Sébastien Valmaina again.
It's an excellent bit of defence from Johnny Sexton. It's such a good part of his game, and it's a great thing to have in your team. As at number 10, he's a big guy. He's well able to wrestle with centres coming down his channel, and that was a really good bit of defence, and a great recognition from Robbie Henshaw that Johnny Sexton had Lamora in an awkward enough position. He was able to get in and hold him up.
Well, I make that double the penalties France have conceded over Ireland, and at least 4 of them have been from the second row, Sébastien Valmaina. And for all his size, well, that's what this man can do if you give him room. But you can't be that ill-disciplined.
It's an excellent little bit of technique. You see Johnny Sexton and Robbie Henshaw targeting the elbow of the ball-carrying hand. That enables him to hold them up, and then all you need is a few more guys to get in behind, and all of a sudden you're in big trouble, and it's a turnover. You have to be really careful in international rugby going in against more numbers in a high position.
Marco Tolègne comes onto the field. His first cap for France. Straight into the heart of a maul. Conor Murray collared by Priso. Rory Best, short one to James Ryan, who's put his head down, made a yard. Sexton, a tester. Has it gone far enough? A lot of people standing under it. Panis did ever so well to take it. Now France with a chance to burst free. Vakatawa. Earls can't catch him. Vakatawa can't hang on to the ball. Teddy Thomas picks up the scraps. New scrum half for France. High tackle, Keith Earls. High tackle by Keith Earls on Virginie Vakatawa. Penalty to France. Peter Romani back on his feet.
Dan Levy has had a huge impact in this game so far. Some brilliant carries, and that was a massive tackle against Girardo. Even though he was facing Dan Levy to his side, which leaves you a little bit exposed, it was a huge hit, and he almost managed to regather the ball as well. He's had a massive impact, and he was a guy that I think back home in Ireland, there was a little bit of surprise, having given his performances so far this year, that he wasn't included, but he's really proving a point now today.
France will have this position just outside the Irish 22. Here's Geoffrey Palis.
And what will make Ireland nervous is the fact that, irrespective of the fact that Ireland have not looked like conceding a try, they are still less than a converted try in front. So anything that goes loose or misfortune.
Ireland haven't got any shorter. On comes Dentona. Gabriel wins the line out. There's the shaven head of Dentona. Oh, Varmaina again involved off the ball this time.
Tadhg Furlong did very well there to come in and drop that.
New scrum half, Antoine Dupont. Here he is. Centre who's been on from the start. Henri Chavancy. Hardly seen much of the ball. Danny Priso.
Last man play.
Vakatawa just about delivers. Gourdon plays scrum half. Girardo.
Hands away, Green.
Thomas. Bello. Well, it's a tame end to... Well, it's just a tame end.
Fantastic defence there from Ireland. That line had started on the 22, and they managed to drive them back. I think they've done a really good defensive job. They're recognising with the conditions that ball handling conditions are very hard, and what they're doing is they're doubling up in all the tackles, and you can see that two guys on one French carrier, and they're driving them all the way back to from the 22 on that occasion to the halfway line.
Johnny Sexton goes long into the drizzle. Dupont to Bello, and back up into the drizzle it goes. Oh. No player taken out. Johnny Sexton starts a counter-attack. Rob Kearney back on his feet safely. Limping a bit, but watch. Oh dear. That's Jacob Stockdale. He's knocked on.
That's an unusual one, Eddie. I think you see that quite a lot in the game, where a guy almost running beyond where the ball is carrying or is landing into the guy who's receiving the ball. In this case, Robert Kearney there. Yeah, very unusual for me. I think that's definitely a penalty. I think before he's even got into the air, he's been hit by the opposing player. So it's an unusual one. Maybe I'm a bit passionate about that as an ex-back three player, but I don't know. It's an unusual scenario.
Well, Nigel Owens is going to have a look at it. Here's Tolania.
I'm not sure if he's not in the air, if the challenging players aren't in the air, I don't think there's anything in that. Depends when he took off.
Yeah, but I suppose if the contact happens before where the ball is landing from the receiving player's perspective, kind of an unusual scenario. I think he's actually, there's no malice in that one. I think he's just gotten beyond the ball and probably a little bit of over-exuberance chasing the kick. But I think that's an unusual one. I think that should be a penalty, to be honest.
Okay. I checked, nothing wrong with it, just a collision, knock on, green ball.
You'll have to agree to disagree, Luke.
No, knock on with green, blue ball.
France will have the scrum, which is sort of attacking on the 10-metre line. With
what number? 3. 3.
Tadhg Furlong is going off.
Blue ball, knocked on by green.
John Ryan is coming on.
Okay, come out the lads, come outside the fight.
He does, Devon Toner, he does stand quite literally head and shoulders above everybody.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Keep it up, lads, keep it up!
Well, the Irish have applied a good bit of pressure at the scrimmage.
Well, this is a problem when Gerardo can't hook the ball, because it means it can't get cleared to Gordon's feet, which means they can't get quick ball. And if the opposition, Ireland in this case, get any momentum, it means that sort of mess occurs. You see the strike, it's not really a strike. He puts his foot forward, the ball is fed onto it, but it's not swept back, so it just lands in the middle of the second row. Gordon is allowed to reach forward and pick it up, but then if you
call it striking for a ball, would you?
No.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
It's a very laboured movement by Girardo. Good pressure from Ireland again. The crossfield kick towards Vakatawa. He takes it. The danger runner. That's an excellent tackle by Johnny Sexton. You ought to get out of there, Johnny, for your own safety. He's okay. France, though, with a little more energy. Gabriel Dupont, the new scrum half. Bello, who's been on a long time now. Little stab through, and that's a tame end to the attack. Rob Kearney, high into the night sky. France, take it quickly. Dupont, Thomas is in the clear. Teddy Thomas is going to score for France.
Wow.
And they could take the lead if the conversion is good.
Well, I said Ireland might be nervous of the one error. Poor chase and a kick. One man up for the quick throw-in. No one else up. In line, so the French took the chance and it paid off for them. Wonderful finish by Teddy Thomas. Had a lot of work to do. Has to be more pressure than one man there.
That's an incredible bit of finishing from Teddy Thomas. That's from 60 metres out that he's after finishing that try. A lovely recognition of the opportunity down the short side. After Conor Murray, in fairness, I think he probably made a mistake there in trying to make that tackle. You're always better off in that situation where you're overextending against good athletes who are always in the back three with good footwork, to make sure you try and connect and defend them in 2s and 3s, not on your own. He's after taking a chance there to try and put some pressure on France, but you know, they've taken full advantage of that mistake for me, and that was an incredible finish.
This to put France in the lead. Anthony Bello. All change here in Paris. France go into the lead against Ireland. 13 points to 12. Teddy Thomas is the man who's turned the game around. Johnny Sexton restarts. Gordon rises high, catches well. Six and a bit minutes to go. Yakuba Kamara sets up the ruck. Behind Dupont is Paris, but the scrum half takes the kick himself. Keith Earls, did that go forward? It did. Nigel Owens checked. Keith Earls can't believe it. Quick word from Paul in studio.
In fairness, Philippe Saint-André has been calling this for the last 10 minutes. He said it's going to be like 2 years ago. Ireland have had all the possession, winning the penalty count, but they just haven't capitalised it, and a 6-point gap just isn't enough. France are always dangerous, they're always capable of scoring a try. Now the crowd believes, the French players believe, and Ireland have to chase the game in really, really bad conditions.
5.5 minutes to go. France with this attacking scrummage. A change on the Irish side. Jacob Stockdale is off. Fergus McFadden on. France will be very happy to spend the next 5 minutes right here, eating up the seconds.
Really important period now for Ireland. They need to calm down. They've got 6 or 7 minutes easily on the clock here to go and get back down the other end of the pitch. This game is not lost, it's still in the balance. They need a few of their leaders, your Johnny Sextons, your Conor Murrays, your Pino Mahoney's, calming the team down. Let's get our hands back on the ball and get back down the other end of the pitch.
Change in the back row for France. Kevin Gourdon wearing 8 is sort of at 6. Marco Tolègne this is Gourdon picking up the scraps, and this is Marco Tolègne. France play it down, and Nigel Owens quite rightly stops play. Head, HIA, head injury assessment. Antoine Dupont, the scrum half, is the player down. Teddy Thomas, the man who has just changed this game completely.
Okay, good. Okay. No, hang on. I said it could be HIA.
Oh, no, I don't think it's leg, isn't it,
Somebody's
Brian?
collapsed again. He's not an HIA. Looked like a knee giveaway.
Unfortunately, I have 2 knee reconstructions in my career. That definitely looks like an unusual one. Hopefully he's just after jarring his knee, or maybe one of the lesser ones like an MCL on the inside. Hopefully for his sake it's nothing too serious.
I don't think he's moving it like it was if it was an ACL, he would be in a lot more pain.
I saw Felipe Contepomi in a very, very similar position against Munster in 2009 doing an ACL, Brian. Kind of unusual. I played on myself for about 10 or 15 minutes with one. I didn't realise it. So if you have strong legs, sometimes it depends on if you get a lot of damage around it. Not that I'm a doctor by any means. I don't know where I'm venturing into with this one, but
you're obviously a hard man though to play on, so you know. You're just saying that you're very tough, that's all right. I don't mind that.
Well, I was trying to say I wasn't. If I was able to play on for 10 minutes at one. Please God, that's nothing too serious for what is a very promising young player, so we wish him all the best in the speedy recovery.
I don't think he's coming back, Nigel. I wouldn't worry about it.
And the match doctor is saying that it is definitely a HIA, because otherwise the line cannot come back on.
Yeah, he wants to do he want to check the HIA protocol. He wants to check it.
But is it a HIA? That's what I need to know.
It is.
You're telling me it is a HIA?
Yeah.
No, unless he's got his brain in his knee.
Please wait a minute. Wait a minute, please. Will you go back, please? Go back, please. I know you're the captain.
Sure. He is doing enough. Sure.
Say again.
If it's a head injury, Maxime Machinot can come back on as a scrum half. If it's a knee injury, only.
You were telling me that it is definitely from the match doctor. The official match doctor is saying it's a HIA.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Clearly.
Yes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Maxime Machinot can play.
Where is I have an official match doctor which is telling me it's a HIA. I am no medic, and I'm going to go with the official match doctor, and that's the way we're going to carry on with the game. Okay?
Is it a penalty?
So HIA is the match doctor's call.
No one else said it until you said it.
No, it came from the touchline, from the AR. Back you go, please.
Well, you can understand the incredulity of Johnny Sexton because off limps Antoine Dupont with a head injury.
Hard enough thing to prove. That was interesting enough. Maybe I might be a better doctor than than the medical officer. Who knows, Eddie?
It does bring to mind what happened here last year in the 100-minute game between France and Wales.
It's going to be a penalty.
Penalty to France. The heavyweight scrummaging. Oh, Machano, did he take it quickly? Nigel Owens is going to bring them back.
Well, I tell you what, Ireland lost concentration there. There was a lot of concern and oohing and ahhing about whether or not it was an HIA, which is no concern of theirs actually, really. And in doing that, just lost concentration at the scrum, allowed the French to get underneath them. John Ryan couldn't get his right shoulder down, he's popped out the top.
France will kick for goal, and this really could be just about it in terms of time. 76.5 minutes. No, there will be time, but it's not.
Well, it will mean you can't just drop.
At,
it will mean you can't just. A penalty's not good enough. Neither is a drop goal. That's the problem. Just one scrum, Ryan thinking there. You can scrummage all you like, as well as you like. You get one wrong in this position, you get exposed. It's a terrible feeling.
Anthony Vallot. This to extend the lead. Slides wide. Another penalty miss. Johnny Sexton missed one. Vallot has missed him. Sexton gets on with it quickly. Ireland trail. That's brilliantly caught by Ian Henderson. Ireland with just 2.5 minutes to turn the game their way. Bundy Aki. It's a good tackle on the centre. Sean Cronin on at hooker for Ireland. France with a player down on the 10-metre line. It's Kevin Gaudon. Johnny Sexton with a little half break, but they're still inside their own half. Rob Carney hangs onto it. Dan Levy. Bundy. Gaudon is still down, and the play after Sean Cronin's little probe is going to come his way. Robbie Henshaw. It's going the other way to CJ Stander. Just over a minute to go. Ireland can't get in to the French half. Conor Murray to Levy. France's discipline, good so far. Number 5, Sébastien Varmina, has given away a handful of penalties on his own. He's staying well away from danger.
Should have given the ball there, because Gordon on the right wing is limping.
Oman presents it again, but they're still stuck in their own half. Aki. Levy came close and couldn't really help. Sexton, big toner, big target for Varmina to hit legitimately. Robbie Henshaw. The closing seconds of the match. Is there one more little twist to this match? Ireland up to halfway. We're into overtime. Ian Henderson. France's defending has been excellent. Ireland still in possession. Sexton, he risks the kick. Keith Earls rises high. Vakatawa stayed off him, didn't dare touch him in the air. Ireland now deep into the French half. John Ryan.
10 more yards and they'll probably be in drop goal range.
Sexton is down though, the drop kick expert is down on the ground, back on his feet now. It's still a long way out for the drop goal. Guillaume Guirado, the French captain, looks on from afar as big Devon Toner up beyond the 10-metre line. Peter O'Mahony. At what point do Ireland risk the kick? It's a long, long way out. They have to get closer than this. France's defence excellent through Danny Priseau's 17. Heavyweight tackling by Gomez Sarr. Dundee Aki. France's defence still keeping Ireland at the halfway line. Fergus McFadden wearing 23 involved. His another replacement, Dan Levy. Peter O'Mahony, we're back up to the 10-metre. Look at the phases, 36 of them. Sexton, infield or inside to Henderson. Henderson again. Creeping closer to the point at which a drop goal becomes possible. Sexton waits, here it comes. It looks good, he likes it. Nigel Owen's arm goes up, and Ireland have stolen the game right at the death, and the players tear back into their own 22, and Guillaume Guirado, look at that face, look at that body. France put themselves in a winning position, only for Ireland to steal it with the last kick of the game. Johnny Sexton's drop goal. The final score: France 13, Ireland 15.
Well, sport is rarely fair, but one moment of brilliance came from a French player, but actually, when you're talking in terms of kicking excellence and coolness under pressure, that is also an exceptional moment.
I thought those last 40 or 50 phases were littered with some really high quality moments from Johnny Sexton. All started off from a running drop goal into, I think it was into Devon Toner's hands to get the